All right, Andy, what are we talking about today?
Cruz versus Cannon. Related to the whole Black Lives Matter.
Oh, I wanted to see that fight. Who'd win that fight?
I think I can't think of what his name is. Damn it! What's that movie do with him?
Friday After Next?
No,
okay.
That's good stuff with him too.
Mike Epps and
No, where he's president.
Cat Williams.
Where he's president in the future. Mountain Dew.
Terry Crews is president in the
Hey,
future.
hold on. I'll get it for you. Keep on going though, and then I'll
All right, Andy,
I'll
take
catch
it away.
back up.
Yeah, so our topic, this segment is talking about, I think both sides of kind of the Black Lives Matter movement according to different African Americans. And it's just interesting to see how the media has been portraying both of these personalities and how people are reacting to both of these people and their comments. And yeah, we're gonna kind of jump right into it.
So people don't that are listening or watching, go ahead and explain. We'll start with Cruz. What are you exactly referencing? So this is between not Terry Crews and Nick Cannon, but more the kind of mindset they both have, correct?
Mm-hmm,
And the specific thing I think you're talking about is Terry Crews versus Don Lemon.
I mean, that's one of them.
And then Terry Crews is, I guess the first thing would be didn't he tweet? He tweeted something, right? And that's what got him onto Don Lemon?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because it was so incredibly controversial at the time that it wasn't controversial at all. But it was still great. We'd have to pull up the exact tweet though.
I got it here. So this is from July 4th. Terry Crews. Are all white people bad? No. Are all black people good? No. Knowing this reality, I stand on my own decision to unite with good people, no matter the race, creed, or ideology. Given the number of threats against this decision, I also decide to die on this hill. Damn.
It's bold.
Yeah, you've seen the movie Idiocracy, right?
No, I have
You haven't
not.
seen Idiocracy? Neither one of you?
No.
Oh my God, what are you guys doing? He's so hilarious. Terry Crews is the president, and what happens is, and I don't want to spoil all of it, but Luke Wilson, he joins this army experiment, right, where they're supposed to put him in this hyperbaric chamber, whatever, for a year, and they're going to bring him back. You know, they're going to pull him back out of it a year later just to see if it works. Well, the whole thing goes to hell within a few months, and then he just gets left there for 500 years, and he wakes up in this. It's done by Mike Judge, who does King of the Hill and stuff.
Okay.
And Terry Crews is the president, and his name is President Dwayne Elizondo Mountain Dew Herbert Camacho. He's hilarious, dude. We should. I mean, literally, I should stay and watch the damn movie now. The movie is so good.
We can watch it.
You gotta watch
down.
Idiocracy.
We can do it tonight.
Idiocracy is incredible. It's something I can't believe. Oh, this would be so much better. We should just stop right now and just record this later. It's so good, dude. He's so hilarious, man. Ugh.
Do you feel like we're living in Idiocracy? I've heard people say that.
That's you gotta watch the movie because it completely is. Everything is slowly dumbing down, and it's so good and it's so well done. I can't even make any of the jokes because you guys wouldn't even get them.
Nope.
It's sad, but
Maybe our listeners would.
But I love Terry Crews. I just love Terry Crews in general.
Mm-hmm.
So this actual tweet from Terry Crews, and this is what propelled him to go. I mean, he's already a star.
Mm-hmm.
He's been in a bunch of movies, and he's always flexing, being able to make his pecs bounce up and down. He's a good-looking dude, and
He's got another tweet too. It wasn't just this one.
yeah, I'll go to his page in a second. So this tweet in particular has 61,000.9 retweets.
Yeah, no, I'm sure a lot of people loved it, and I mean, and it's the right message. It is a good message to give to everybody.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain things that we need to focus on as a country, and I think there's a lot of detractors, and I think that's all he's trying to say. And I don't want to put words in his mouth, but it seems like it. But Don Lemon was very that interview. We can leave a link to it in the description below. It's on YouTube. Just have to Google Terry Crews, and that's probably the first thing that pops up. But that interview was ridiculous. Don Lemon was not good in it. If you want to hear somebody's side of the story and not try to talk over them, it's listen to understand, not to respond. He didn't care what Terry Crews had to say. It was very evident that Don Lemon wanted to push an agenda, CNN-led agenda instead of wanting to understand why somebody would even risk their career, because we're in a cancel culture right now. Why would you risk your career and do that? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
So I think, and people say, oh, he's too big to fail. That's not true. Look at Nick Cannon and the other person that we're going to talk about. You can make anti-Semitic remarks and lose your career. It's. I don't think that should be a thing. I don't think Nick Cannon should have been fired. I think he said some dumb shit, and I don't think that he should be held. I don't think taking somebody's complete life away from them and then putting them into a suicidal mindset is what the reports are now. Is a way to get anything accomplished. How do you reach that person when that's your mindset?
That's why we need free speech and not this cancel culture. You can't just shut people down on any platform anywhere, because how are the people going to respond to that? They're going to not go toward your movement because you canceled them and didn't even listen to them. Why would anyone want to go towards that movement at all?
So what were your thoughts on? Did you watch the clip from Don Lemon?
Mm-hmm.
What were your thoughts on that?
Yeah. Well, I had some different focuses. I thought it was interesting that Don Lemon getting distracted from that clip.
Don't look at the screen.
We're watching Terry Crews make his boobs jiggle.
Yeah. It was interesting that Don Lemon made the comment about what Black Lives Matter supposedly is about. It's not about, I guess, any other Black lives except those that are killed in police brutality moments. But I thought Terry Crews, whenever he was able to speak, was able to combat and have some good comments and reasonable comments. And I'm sure a lot of people have shared views with him on, any side of the spectrum.
And a lot of people that I've been involved with or talked to or, personally known kind of held the same views that Terry did. His other tweet is this: when I was young, I was never afraid of the KKK. It was people like you, the threats, the intimidation, discouraging free thought, the insult of acting white. My heart breaks because your behavior only reveals you don't know how powerful you are. And so,
and that was in response to a tweet, right?
That was, yeah. So you're going so hard against Nick Cannon, but when you fall, no black person will have your back. Mm-hmm. Watch. He retweeted that from Mike Roberts. So it's interesting. It's an interesting take because, there are so many times where you hear one narrative and he's going against that narrative, and that's kind of like an interesting take on how that's actually working. And that's kind of what I thought was interesting about it. It's a different take from what you normally hear. Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's just a different take of what you normally hear in the media. I feel like now, I'm not saying I'm Mr. Black person. I know a million black people, but I feel like Terry Crews is speaking what a lot of black people do believe. I mean, because it's a very reasonable take, saying, hey, that basically we're all flawed, we're all human beings, and we should try to work together to make things more fair. And I don't understand how you even argue with that. So when Don Lemon gets all pissed off about it, I don't even get it. And I'm going to be honest, I've heard a lot of different people explain Black Lives Matter. I actually did think that Black Lives Matter still meant it was all about black lives, about all black lives. I did not know, and Don Lemon says this, I'm not sure that this is necessarily true, that it's just about black lives taken by white cops. So we're talking about, so it's not about all black lives, it's about the 229 black people that were killed by police last year. I guess, allegedly, instead of all the other black people that have died and all the other, I don't know, all the other
way
black
bigger
children.
Number.
It's like, then I don't even get it. Then I don't even, if that's the truth, then I don't even understand the movement at all.
Yeah.
But I feel like most people who say that, they mean all black lives. I feel like they mean all. Yeah. I don't think they think what Don Lemon says, which I don't even, maybe he's right. I'm not sure.
So, I was wrong. I lied at the beginning. He did tweet at Nick Cannon.
Well, I thought he may have, but I hadn't seen it.
I don't know if it was at Nick Cannon, but he did tweet about it. We have to include this whole white voice, this Hispanic voice, this Asian voice. Andy, my girl. We have to include the right now, because if we don't, it's going to slip into something we're not prepared for. Terry Crews, The Talk interview, June 16, 2020. And it goes into the video of where Nick Cannon said the remarks, comparing white people to animals, et cetera, et cetera. I'll get those exact quotes. Jesse, do you have those pulled up?
Yeah, I haven't pulled them up from Daily
Okay.
Wire.
So why don't you read?
Which has the exact...
Andy, do you feel comfortable kind of where we're at with Terry Crews and his remarks and kind of what happened with Don Lemon? What were some of Don Lemon's remarks to Terry Crews?
What's that was that towards Andy?
Yeah. Do you know what he was saying towards Terry Crews?
I'm trying to remember. He made it just seem like Terry Crews didn't know what he was talking about, especially relating to Black Lives Matter, and then he went into what it's really about, according to him,
Yeah.
and I don't know who else.
Terry Crews was very gracious the whole time. So
Yeah.
even when Don Lemon would try to make Terry Crews look stupid or whatever, or try to talk down to him or just over him, he was very gracious. You know, he smiled because he's always been great anyway. Like I've loved Terry Crews for so long. So
that was my problem with that gotcha type journalism that they do. You don't advance any narrative when you act like that. You're not garnering any type of relationship with anybody when you act like that at all. And it's so infuriating.
You want me to read his Nick Cannon's quotes? They're pretty long. There's 3 specific paragraphs that are pretty horrendous.
So this is part of the thing. On June 30th, Crews sparked controversy with a tweet that read, "If you're a child of God, you're my brother and sister. I have family of every race, creed, and ideology. We must ensure Black Lives Matter doesn't morph into Black Lives Better." So that was, I think, the starting off point to the next tweet.
Yeah.
Lemon continued talking about the origins of Black Lives Matter. This is what Lemon said. The Black Lives Matter movement was started because it was started about police brutality. If you want all Black Lives Matter movement that talks about gun violence in communities, including black communities, and start that movement with that name, he said. But that's not what Black Lives Matter is about. Okay, well, then I agree with him 100% then. If you're going to limit it down to one specific thing, then let's do that. But the media and the narratives aren't doing that. When you paint Black Lives Matter in front of Trump's towers, you're losing that narrative that he just suggested right there, because then police brutality is you're talking about systemic racism in multiple institutions versus just the police institution, and I think that's where he was losing that. He in this specific scenario, he was just talking about it's about police brutality,
and which actually Don Lemon, if he's talking about the Black Lives Matter group, which I don't know if he is.
Yeah. So
he's actually incorrect on that. If you go to their website, it's much more than just police brutality. It's about family structure, tearing down
the Western family structure, all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah, so it says, he continued, if someone started a movement that said cancer matters, then someone comes in and says, why aren't you talking about HIV? It's not the same thing. Which when I first heard that, I'm like, well, that's not what Terry's doing.
No.
I thought that was the stupidest comment, because I mean, like, one of them's talking about the exact same thing. Like Terry Crews is talking about all Black lives mattering, and Don Lemon's talking about some Black lives mattering. So I don't understand the whole idea of the cancer versus something that's not cancer. It's like, wait a minute.
Why do they do this?
We're talking about black people. We're not, like, it's just a bad point. Like, Don Lemon's dumb.
This article's from USA Today. And it says Cruz 51. Like, why do you need to put his name? Why do you need to put his age in there? like that matters.
Relevant.
Rebutted. But when you look at the organization, police brutality is not the only thing they're talking about. So that leads into the point that you're talking about, Andy. Is like that's what Terry Crews was trying to get across, and it doesn't matter whether you believe in the movement or not. What other side you're on, he was just trying to state facts, and it seems from the onset that that Don Lemon was not going to listen to whatever Terry Crews had to say. And I can't stand that type of journalism. So why don't you read what Nick Cannon said?
Well, he brought, the whole thing about that is he brought Crews on his show to educate him, is what he was doing. But yeah, here's the exact Nick Cannon quotes, and this is from Daily Wire, but you can get it all over the place. I double-checked it just because I don't post anything that's right-wing without having double-checked it to begin with. It says, when you see a person that has a lack of pigment, a lack of melanin, they fear that they will be annihilated. So therefore, however they got the power, they had a lack of compassion. Melanin comes with compassion. Melanin comes with soul. We call it soul. You know, soul brothers and sisters, that's melanin that connects us. So the people that don't have it, and I'm going to say this carefully, are a little less. They didn't have the power of the sun that started to deteriorate their skin. So then they're acting out of fear. They're acting out of low self-esteem. They're acting out of deficiency. So therefore, the only way that they can act it is evil. They have to rob, steal, rape, kill in order to survive. They had to be savages. They had to be barbaric because they're in these Nordic mountains. They're in these rough environments, so they're acting as animals. So they are the ones that are actually closer to animals. They are the ones that are actually the true savages. That is the exact quote from Nick Cannon. He was on a show. This was on some kind of I can't remember who the person he was with, but it was on a YouTube show.
How do you even get to that? Like, what's the context around it? I didn't watch.
I don't know the context
it's not a
around
joke.
it.
I watched it just to make sure that it wasn't a joke.
What do you got?
What's that?
What's the context?
No, I can't. Sorry. You were throwing me off by looking at you. I don't have the full context. I watched the full context. I can't explain it all because I wanted to make sure that he wasn't kidding somehow. Even though it doesn't sound like it's a joke, and it wasn't a joke.
It sounds like joke. It does sound like a joke to me. I know he didn't mean it as a joke.
I watched it, and he's defended his comments too. Like he was,
It sounds so far-fetched that you would say that about anybody. It sounds like a joke.
It's absolutely crazy. I mean, because what you're preaching is racism. And I think Cruz posted. I think he tweeted sometime later or something, or made a comment that my original post about Black Lives Matter not being Black Lives Better was exactly right, something like that.
Yeah.
It's just crazy stuff, and I'm not saying dude. I don't really, other than seeing Nick Cannon on that The Masked Singer. He's not anybody to me anyway. Like I don't watch Nick Cannon in anything. I don't want him to lose his gigs, but I mean, if you're speaking out of ignorance like
Wild and Out was pretty awesome.
What's that?
Wild and Out. It's pretty good.
That's
the
one he
old
got
one,
fired
isn't it?
from, right?
Yeah, it's old. I'm saying it was good.
Oh, okay. So that's not the one he got fired from. He got
he got fired from
whatever. It doesn't matter. I think it was the Viacom?
Viacom is exactly what he got fired from. But it goes to that narrative, like when you start talking over people, but here's the thing is, like, I don't think Nick Cannon's, I don't know him, but he's never seen racist before because he's done movies and he's done all this other stuff, and you've never heard about him being racist ever. Like I don't know the pop culture news that as good as I should, but but here's the thing: is it the media? Is it the way things are being over centralized? Is it Don Lemon talking over Terry Crews and and
then P. Diddy came out and he posted in favor of Nick Cannon because Nick Cannon he actually got the axe because of his comments on the Jews. And I'm not sure exactly what he said about the Jews, but it was the same thing about the Jews running Hollywood. It was something like that, which Charlemagne the God agreed. And then P. Diddy, he posted something like, "Hey, Nick Cannon, come to black media. We're all about black people first," something like that. And, and black supremacy, basically like some kind of a black supremacist message. It's just really ridiculous.
Well, I don't understand that.
I don't think you're going to be able to like that thing.
It's going to work.
It's going to work, dude.
I'm dedicated.
You might need to take your lighter back.
I know. We just got this.
You have a beautiful lighter. Like, it is a big lighter.
It should be beautiful.
It is nice. It's expensive.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get it to work.
It doesn't matter. Like, regardless of how expensive a lighter is, if it doesn't.
So was Nick Cannon guest starring on a show?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so it wasn't like related to his company at all, I guess?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't believe so. I think it was just some kind of I think it was a YouTube interview with, and I can almost come up with the guy's name, but I can't.
I didn't recognize that
figure it
guy's
out.
name at all.
Yeah. Did you finally get it?
I mean, it's kind of interesting that the cancer culture is coming somewhat full circle. I mean, I don't like it. I mean,
I don't think anybody should be canceled for something like that.
No, there's a really
unless you drag your company through it, and the company doesn't want to be associated with it.
I can understand companies, want to wash their hands of that, but here's the thing: is at what point do you say? And I can understand defending your comments because he has no choice now because they've already canceled him, and that's the problem with pushing cancel culture is. Do you get a pass at some point and say like, okay, yes, he made these remarks, and I haven't seen the whole video in context, but I think that you get to these points and it's like I almost feel bad for what he's going through, it's because his whole life is. I'm not in favor of ruining somebody's entire life based on one comment. It's like
No.
It's like people like they want to pull a video from 30 years ago that somebody said when they're like 17 years old or 18 years old, and you want to ruin their life over it. It's just a weird thing to me, because people change. People can learn from mistakes depending on how you approach them. I have the same mentality about prison reform that I'm super passionate about, and arresting people. I'm not a big fan of it, and how we treat our citizens. And it's the same type of thing. It's like if you don't give somebody a chance to repent or to fix the wrong that they did, and you automatically ruin their life over it, and they're not murdering anybody. I mean, who did Nick Cannon murder? You know what I mean? I don't think Nick Cannon. His words are influencing because he isn't an influencer, but give an influencer a chance to fix it. This is kind of where I stand, and it's the same thing for Terry Crews. I'm sure people are calling Terry Crews some pretty crazy names right now that I don't agree with, like Larry Elder. People go after Larry Elder.
Same way.
Same way, and I'm not a fan of that on both directions. It needs to stop. We need to work on moving forward and not moving against it, even though they're pretty barbaric. Because look, this is what it leads to. It goes back to Terry Crews versus Don Lemon. People who live near each other, black people kill each other, same as whites. 80% of white people are killed by white people, Lemon says, which is true. But it doesn't move. Like, you're not listening to what Terry Crews is saying. You're spouting off a talking point that someone has given you, and you're talking over him so much that like his audio is cutting out. And I have a problem with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. There was a point I was going to make, but now.
Sorry.
It's been
You're
lost
fine.
with the cigar.
It happened. I started losing it before that. Damn it.
It's good now.
So I've heard some people say that the like cancel culture, like some of it could be considered peaceful protesting, because if you get like all these people together and they go after the company that the person works for, I mean that's peaceful protesting. Peaceful protesting. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I see yes and no, I guess. I could kind of start with my thoughts. Like, yes, you're not...
I think a company has the right to get rid of you for reasons they deem necessary to protect their image. And I don't think that's wrong. What I'm saying is I would hope people would have pause and would do some self-reflection. Can we make this person a better person? That's all I'm asking people to do. Can this person come out on the other side better than before? If we thought like that, you wouldn't have to worry about cancel culture. You wouldn't have to worry about taking people down off TV. If you can give a 2-second pause to somebody and be like, can this person come out better than they were before? You wouldn't have to worry about that. We don't focus on rehabilitation. People talk about our prison sentencing. This is the same thing as a prison sentence. You're automatically making this person guilty. There's no due process. You're canceling them. You're shutting them down. There's no getting better. There's no rehabilitation. His rehabilitation, is it sincere? Oh, hey, I'm sorry because I'm losing my whole career. My whole life is gone. What's more sincere? Hey, let's sit down. Let's understand, why did you say those words? What led you to that? Is it all the stuff that's going on in the media right now? Is it, black people dying by officers, being incarcerated at large numbers? Like, what in your mind is making you say these words, that makes you think that white people are animals and the Jews are running the business? That's what's important to me. And that's why I hate cancel culture, because it completely defeats the purpose of moving any kind of narrative forward to bringing communities together.
Yeah.
I remember what I was going to say. I was going to reference there's a Bill Burr, his Monday morning quarterback, his Monday podcast, whatever it's called. He talks about that specifically. He goes about if you fire someone for being a racist, you're not making him any less racist. You're just taking away his ability to even survive, and that's not the best. Basically, that's not the best way to go about it. Is just by firing him, because that doesn't make there be less racists in the world. Like, we actually have to work on the actual problem, and just getting rid of them like that doesn't fix it.
Yeah. What about you, Andy? What do you think about along those lines? Are you for? You kind of sound like for kind of canceling them out, or what are your thoughts on it?
I would agree with you guys. I mean, it doesn't solve the problem. I think I said a little while ago, you just shut them down. you're not gonna have that opportunity for them to even conform or even meet in the middle with whatever you're, I guess, spouting off and trying to get people to agree to. It's all about conversation, and it's about coming together, and I mean, more complex process than just firing someone, which I guess I can understand companies not wanting to deal with that, but that's, I mean, again, that's not going to be helping the greater world and solving our real issues that we have.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I just figured that we're going to a place where we can't come back from, and I think that's Terry Crews's message.
Yeah.
We're treading on dangerous waters here, and that worries me for the simple fact that if you keep going down this rabbit hole, how do you pull back the reins? You know?
Yeah. How do you?
Mad Hatter's going to take over. People think Trump's bad, man. You just wait.
Well, he's only, I mean...
He's a symptom.
If we don't address the problems that we have, if you think Trump is bad, we're going to get much worse. And you know what? In some ways, maybe we deserve it. There's a great George Carlin bit.
Are we going to leave it on that?
There's a great George Carlin bit, and it's about how you know, where do you think all these bad politicians come from? You think that there's only bad politicians and the good people are good? He said he ends up making the point. He's like, you know, it's not just the politicians suck. The public sucks, or the people suck, you know. And it's pretty funny, but at the same time, if we don't work on ourselves, we're never going to get better than Trump.
That's a sad reality.
And I don't want to leave it on a downer. I'm saying if we can fix
scary.
if we can fix it, then we will get better. But do we deserve better based on the way we act right now? I'm not sure.
I guess if people don't speak up,
we need good people to speak up.
Which is why we're here.
And
this is the only reason we started the podcast. We had that conversation, you know, I think it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and he's like, well, what do I tell my kid, you know, 20 years from now? Did I do anything, you know? And that is like, well, let's start our podcast. Let's do it. Let's talk about things that matter. That versus, you know, let's cut through the bullshit, no spin, you know, just straight up. We'll read directly to you guys from the articles and tell you our sites and our sources, and you know, it is what it is. But everybody in this room wants to make a better community, and it's sad that there's people out there that defect against that.
or that they're like, I mean, what they think is right which is scary too, and that their way is the only way to go, and we need to force this, and instead of like a more open discussion, which that's a whole nother topic. But.
Yep. I hate this. We can leave it like this. One of the things I always want to leave people with, right or wrong never matters. Right or wrong does not matter. People's perceptions are their reality. If you're arguing right or wrong, you're losing the conversation every time. Until you understand somebody's perception, you're not going to understand their reality. And so that's what the problem with right or wrong is.
Yeah.
But, all right, until our next statement, guys. Good one. We'll pick something up next time. It's probably going to be on federal states versus granting money to states. So Andy just want to talk about that. So we'll see you guys soon.